Na-upset ng Detroit Pistons ang Golden State Warriors sa Filipino Heritage Night sa Oracle Arena. Ang Cleveland Cavaliers struggling din sa ongoing NBA season. Narito ang report. Sa Oakland, ginanap ang unang Filipino Heritage Night ng Golden State Warriors sa laban nila ng Detroit Pistons. May mga bagong design sa Filipino Heritage shirts ng Warriors na may logo at team name na mandirigma. Ang Bantay Bata Choir ang kumanta ng national anthem. Sa halftime, nag-perform pa ng cultural dance ang American Center of Philippine Arts. Pagdating naman sa basketball, bigit ang laban. Pero sa third quarter, uminit na si Avery Bradley at lumamang na ang Pistons. Sa fourth quarter, kinulang ng suporta si Kevin Durant at kinapos ang Warriors. Panalong Pistons, 115-107. Upset din ang nangyari sa Cleveland Cavaliers na natalo naman sa New York Knicks 114-95. At ang Indiana Pacers panalo sa San Antonio Spurs 97-94. Mapapanood ang NBA sa ABS-CBN Sports Biyernes hanggang Lunes. Well, bakit nga ba tila nangangapa pa ang Warriors at Cavaliers ngayong season? Kausapin natin si The Hoopnut, Enzo Flojo, para sa usapan rin. Enzo, welcome back to The Score.
Hey, Tej.
All right, very interesting scenarios happening. Maraming na-excite for the start of the season. May mga bagong lumipat na stars ng mga ibang teams. The Rockets, the Thunder, very interesting to see them. And they're doing okay right now. Pero yung dalawang finals from last year, ano nangyari?
The two title favorites.
What's happening? Okay, break it down one by one. Yung Cavs, generally, medyo understandable kasi wala si Kyrie nor Isaiah. So yung kapalit ni Kyrie is out. And then ang daming new pieces. Para sa Warriors, medyo mas katakataka. Because they don't really have that many new pieces aside from Nick Young. Really. So let's do one by one. Let's start first with the Cavs. Anong assessment was the Cavs and what's going wrong for them right now?
I think what's really wrong, if you do the eyeball test, is defensively, they just don't have the energy, the sense of urgency. The body language for the Cavs on the defensive end is just really wrong right now. And maybe, not maybe, but I think definitely not having Isaiah Thomas there and Derrick Rose for a couple of games also. I think that was a big factor because when people are absent, like the key people, the coach and everyone, they're all expected to make adjustments on both ends of the floor. And at some point against the Pelicans, against the Knicks, kanina, they had a lot of missed assignments on defense. And that's part and parcel of why I think right now they're parang in the bottom 5 of the league in terms of points allowed per game. So that's not going to win a lot of games, even if you're Cleveland.
When coming into the season, maraming mga Cavs fans and even just the general analysts na excite for them is na theoretically nag-improve yung defense nila because they got guys like Jay Crowder. Jeff Green also with his length and his experience, well, decent defender. And yet hindi ba masyado naka-impact pa yung mga sinasabi nga na impact players or nagkaroon ng net decrease because of adding some older guys like Dwayne Wade, who is a half a step slower than he used to be, and Derrick Rose as well might not be the best perimeter defender.
He's never known for his defense. I think so. I think definitely, sure they added a lot of depth, and for some people, maybe even on paper, you can see the Cavs and say this is the deepest team in the league. Maybe for some people, but in terms of age, you made a good point, Tej. This is not the youngest team by any stretch, and against teams that are hungry, that are full of energy, they still will struggle, especially if they are not complete as a roster. And even if Jay Crowder is an excellent perimeter defender, Jeff Green, you could make a good argument for him being a pretty good perimeter defender. LeBron James, of course, in that conversation. The thing is, if they're forced to play matchups, they're not supposed to play, anyway, if the roster is complete. Dun sila mahihirapan. Those adjustments, I think, are still being made at this stage in the season.
Normally, you can easily make those adjustments down the line, mid-season na. Pero yung first 2 weeks pa lang, medyo mas challenging talaga. Now, on offense naman, they also have their struggles. They're not shooting great. The three-point shooting is here and there. And in fact, they're almost in the bottom 5 as well in turnovers, 16 a game, and that's been one of the problems also para sa Cavs. So why so sloppy? You have more playmakers, diba? LeBron, he's happy with Derrick Rose. Dwayne Wade was shifted to the bench to be the playmaker of the second unit. So anong nangyari pa sa offense?
I think this is where the unfamiliarity of all the new guys, with all the veterans, that's where this plays out. When running their sets and their plays, there are a lot of times when, guys are out of position or passes are mistimed, and that's when turnovers can mount and may ipon talaga. And I think that's what we're seeing so far from Cleveland. I think as the season goes on, especially when Derrick Rose adjusts more to the system, same with Isaiah Thomas coming back, we're going to see a much sharper, much more efficient Cleveland team. I'm not sure at this pace they will finish #1 in the East, even with a full complement of players for the rest of the season. But I still think this is the favorite. This team is still the favorite to come out of the East. Definitely, if they finish in the top 4, they're gonna.
This will make it through.
Yeah.
Especially, malaking dagok na Boston na wala si Gordon
that's
Hayward.
huge. That's
so yun
huge,
yung talagang malaking
for sure.
team. Okay, let's shifting to the Western Conference naman. Today, the Warriors were supposed to treat the Pinoy fans with some happiness.
Yes.
They did at the start with the shirts. Maganda yung mandirigma. Check it out. That's pretty cool.
Get that white
That, and of course, the Filipinos performing at the Oracle. But they didn't perform as expected for the Pinoy. So natalo to the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
Another weak
And a lot
team.
of people don't even see the Pistons as a playoff-bound team in the East.
Kaya all the more it's eyebrow-raising. And at home. Sometimes these losses happen on the road to weak teams, but you're at home. What could be the case? Is it a Halloween blues? Are you thinking of a party? What's going on?
Well, no one's injured from Golden State. So
and there's not too many new pieces. Right?
So in terms of continuity, in terms of personnel, there's really no reason why they should lose to a team like Detroit at home on such a special day.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think after playing, their 3rd straight finals last year, maybe most of them are mentally still adjusting to the new season. Remember that for most of the preseason, I think they played a game overseas, and a lot of them took late extended vacations because they won the championship.
Right.
So I think mentally, for many of them, they're not 100% in regular season mode yet. I mean, Steve Kerr, after the game, remarked how a handful of times they forgot their plays, and for a team like Golden State, that's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
So the slow start for them, I think it's not, the reason is not really complex. It's just really more of them still mentally getting into the mode of the season. Yeah.
Defensively, the numbers don't look so great as well. They are allowing 114.3 points per game, 28th in the league.
Third to the last.
Teams,
Third to the last.
And this is a team that prides himself in championship defense. They know given a opensa, but they also know that one of the big reasons why, if not the biggest reason probably that they won as well, is that they're such a good defensive team as well. What has happened? Why is it flipped up like that, and where did the defense go?
I think the priority for them is not on the defensive side of the ball yet.
Okay.
I think they know that talent-wise, we can outscore any team. So whatever defensive mistakes we make, eventually we can compensate for that, on the offensive end. 4 times out of 7, that's worked.
Yeah.
But right now, they've lost 3. They lost to Washington. They lost to Detroit already. So some red flags for Golden State, but these aren't red flags that they cannot correct moving forward. It's very reasonable to expect them to be able to right the ship sooner rather than later. The more alarming thing, I think, is that I think they're turning over close to 19 a game.
Mas mataas pa sa Cavs.
So yun yung medyo
18.1. Top 4. That's turnovers. 27th place.
So that's a bigger red flag for me. And again, that's an indication, I think, of the fact that mentally they're not fully checked in to the regular season yet.
Well, as you said, they've been together from last year. Arguably, this should be more exciting for the Warriors fans because they won a championship on KD's first year.
Yes.
This is year 2.
They
More
should
time
be much
to mature
better.
and gel. Much better. Dapat mas kilala nila isa't isa. So is there some chemistry issue with them? This is always the fear last year when KD was coming in and say, okay, how are you going to split the shots with Curry and Clay and KD? And even, of course, Draymond sometimes can hit 15, 18, 20 points sometimes. So meron kayang konting play na ganon?
Well, I have a friend who says it's the Nick Young effect.
The Nick Young effect?
I'm not sure if that's true.
How many shots is he averaging by? One game he had 20
He's not
plus,
making much of an impact. And he had that one good game. But, that, of course, is just a funny way of talking about the woes of the Warriors. But I think really the fact is they haven't been able to play an entire 48 minutes of serious Golden State basketball. By serious, I mean, like, again, they're not fully checked in to the season yet. So I think when, 12 minutes are left or 10 minutes are left and they find themselves behind by 10, 8 points, that's when the sense of urgency kicks in. Sometimes that's good, but so far, it has proven to be quite detrimental for Golden State because you don't know who's going to take the shot. All of a sudden, you're behind to the Pistons. End game, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, obviously not enough to panic, but anong message mo sa mga fans ng parehong kupunan when in terms of worry?
Just be patient. I mean, these two teams have proven that they are the best teams on the planet the past 3 or so years. And Cleveland still has, in my opinion, the best player in the entire league in LeBron James. So he will be able to will this team into the playoffs one way or another. When Isaiah Thomas comes back, whether that's in late December or January, they'll be much better. For Golden State, I think the recovery will be much sooner. I think by mid-November or early December,
they'll hit the stride.
We're going to see them put together 10, 12-game winning streak, and it's going to be the Warriors of old pretty soon.
Right. Well, aabangan niya ng kanilang maraming fans for sure. All right, thanks, Enz, for joining us. And if you want to chat with him, he's at Hoopnut on Twitter. Thanks, Enz.
For more sports updates, keep watching The Score. And don't forget to subscribe.